Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's lesson is a bit different. I saw a very interesting article in the IEEE magazine, and I decided that I would share it because it is really interesting and sum it up for you guys. So the article's name is Software Testing in the Generative AI Era, a Practitioner's Playbook. This article is written by Douglas C., William and Mary and was published in this IEEE magazine on July 2025. So let's talk about the paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is basically a change in an approach. So in this case, it would be a change in approach for generative AI. So software testing is undergoing a fundamental paradigm shift driven by the generative AI, especially in large language models and short form LLMs, and they're trained on very vast data sets. So this over here is a very vague, um, excuse me, sorry, is a very vague little timeline. So it talks about before generative AI, the transformation of generative AI, and the new reality. So before Gen AI, it had manual test writing. Um, this AI wasn't that strong, so it was just guessing the edge cases, had very slow feedback loops and very limited coverage. For the transformation, this was during the process, like the whole transformation to the new reality. The LLMs or large language models analyzes the docs and code both now, and they have tests that write themselves. And there's continuous monitoring for all of these codes, and it simulated users' behavior. So for the new reality, it's faster and smarter at testing now, has a much more broader amount of coverage. Some problems are there's like new risks to manage since there's lots of change for testing the software, and humans are still essential for this. So now let's talk about how Gen AI automates and actually does the scale testing. The first is the automatic test case generation. So this uses tools like Diff, Blue Cover, and Codium AI to analyze codes and generate unit tests across different languages and interrogates it with a CI and a CD pipeline. For example, Jenkins or GitLab for more automatic accusation. Um, Next, we have continuous testing and feedback. So basically, ML models monitor the test accusations and live productions logs in real time. On failure, if it fails, the AI model immediately analyzes recent code changes that people have made and suggests the most likely cause of a failure. Um, Third is early prototyping. So the Gen AI creates mock interfaces or simulates features from a design description. This is why it's called Gen AI. And it enables testing before the real code actually exists. And this basically shortens the QA feedback loop. Last but not least is simulating diverse usage scenarios. So the LLMs act as different user personas, so novice, an expert, an advisory, or whatever, and simulates the conditions and practical to replicate manually. So what it means is, I'm going to take an example. It's basically 1,000 of concurrent users, which is completely impractical to the actual code. So the LLMs basically act as that. Uh, Next is some of the challenges of the AI augmented testing. So augment is where it increases certain amount of images in a data set, which in some classes don't have as many images. So an example is AI hallucinations. Basically the AI generated tests can look correct, like they can look correct, but they can be really wrong. So human review and adversarial testing are really essential because sometimes the AI does make mistakes and hallucinates and thinks that something is correct, but it's really wrong. And this basically detects the false confidence. Next we have non-deterministic behavior, which is unlike traditional software, the AI might respond much more differently on each run. So basically shift from the pass fail thinking to range-based validation and watch for the model drift. So it's just saying there's like different ways the AI can respond in each different run for the software. So this isn't really a traditional software. This is not a traditional software at all. So the AI can respond much more differently on each run. Next, we have compliance and ethics. So it's regulated domains demand evidence of fairness, transparency, and risk controls. So these are just the different types of ways that it augments the actual data. Regulations like the EU AI Act will mandate documentation of AI testing outcomes. So basically, it just talks about more like ways to augment and some things that can go wrong with it. Uh, Next we have bias and fairness. So training the data uh is like a whole process, but sometimes biases can creep into the AI outputs, leading it to create blind spots. And it doesn't just ask, does it work? But we're supposed to ask, does it work for everyone so that it's not as biased? Last but not least, is the high stakes domains. So in defense, healthcare, and aerospace, AI can misstep and be really fatal. So we use AI to stress test, but require more strict human oversight and traceability. Um, so this is basically just saying that in real time, AI missteps can be really fatal, so we just have to again monitor and see how the AI is basically doing this. Um, this is the last slide. So adapting your testing practices. So basically, so for foster AI literacy and QA terms, it basically teaches testers how models work and fail. It basically practices prompt engineering and learns common AI failure modes, so the most common way that the AI can actually fail, and it critically, excuse me, reviews the AI generated outputs. Another thing is it also encourages cross-functional collaboration. So it breaks down silos. Also, developers, testers, data scientists, and domains experts must collaborate all together for this. And the QA should be involved early in the AI feature design. Lastly, it upgrades your toolkits and techniques. So it adds adversarial testing and statistical analysis to the already existing methods to develop new metrics for bias, uncertainty, and non-determinism. So a key takeaway. This is a quote by Douglas C., the guy that mainly wrote this article. Use AI to amplify your testing, but maintain strict human oversight and accountability. Reliability, transparency, and safety must remain paramount whenever AI is part of a mission critical system. Make sure you comment down below what you think this quote means. But what I personally think is Douglas over here is taking care about the safety, to not always rely on the AI blindly, to always keep our oversight and see and just monitor the AI because our safety is the most important when AI is basically a part of the mission critical system. But you guys comment down below and tell me what you think about this quote. And that's it for today. I really hope you guys like this slideshow. I know it was a bit different than my normal videos. But if you want more videos like these, definitely let me know by liking this video. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!